Hello everyone and welcome to our Cargill Confectionery Series. My name is Coco Joe, and in this video we'll be talking about troubleshooting confectionery coatings and some of the issues that you might come across and how to troubleshoot them to correct them. So I have some of our Merkin's Cocoa Light Milk Confectionery Coating, and it looks gloppy. It's actually not fully melted, and it looks like it needs to be melted more, but in actuality, this is at the melting temperature of 115 degrees. It should be flowable and fully melted, but it's not. What happens with confectionery coating as it ages is that it may absorb moisture from the atmosphere as it gets old. We will see this after 9 to 12 months. So that moisture seeps in to the confectionery coating wafers and it thickens the coating. So if you continue to heat this, you will actually make it worse and you'll probably burn it. So what we need to do to thin it out is to add more of the fat that is in the confectionery coating, which is palm kernel oil. So that is available in wafer form under the trade name Paramount Crystals, and it's really nice thin flakes of palm kernel oil. So we'll need to add somewhere between 1/4 to 0.5% by weight to start. You may need more depending on how thick your coating is. And you can use the heat that's already in the coating, this is 115 degrees, to melt your PKO flakes. So I'll add some of these in and mix. And the heat from the coating in the bowl will melt them. Another way you can do it is to melt the palm kernel oil separately, either in the microwave or on the stovetop, and add it in as a liquid. Nice vigorous mixing. And you can see it's starting to get thinner. This is still not where I need it to be. So I'll add another dose. So when I started, I could tip the bowl and it wouldn't run out, and now you can see it's a lot more smooth and flowable. And we're good to go. If you would like it even thinner, you can continue to add the palm kernel oil flakes until you get to the consistency that you'd like. Confectionery coatings are recommended to be stored at room temperature, but more importantly, you want to be below 50% relative humidity. It's that humidity that will seep into the coating to thicken it up. So keep it tightly sealed, seal up the bag, and keep it to below 50% relative humidity for storage. So I think I've overheated this confectionery coating. This was soft and flowable just a minute ago, and when I went to warm it up, I believe I overdid it. It won't even run out of the bowl. So let me see what the temperature is at. Yes, we're much too warm. And I'll just show you how thick it's gotten by overheating it in the microwave. It looks like it's almost frozen. And the temperature is about 140, a little over 140 in some parts, so it's much too warm. The milk proteins in the coating have really caused this to seize up. So if you've overdone this, you may have damaged the coating, but what we typically will do is let it come back down below 120 degrees into your melting range of 115 to 120 Fahrenheit and see if it becomes soft and flowable again. Also, vigorous stirring always helps. I've cooled my overheated coating down below 125 degrees, and it doesn't seem like I've damaged it too much. It's back to being relatively flowable. So if you've overheated your coating above 125 degrees and you see that really thick pudding-like consistency, let it cool back down to the operating temperature and take a look and see, as long as it doesn't smell burnt or taste burnt and has become flowable again, you probably have recovered it. This is still a little thick, so I'll add one more dose of our Paramount crystals. And I've recovered from that overheated situation. And now the coating can be used. So if you taste your coating and you taste it is burnt, or if it stays in that really thick consistency, or if you have burnt clumps, then you're probably beyond repair and you would need to dispose of your coating and start over again. Sometimes, depending on the milk content of the coating, you may just overheat it too much and you've burnt it beyond repair. Let's talk about bloom. Here we have our Merkin's pink confectionery wafers. Of course, these are, as they should look, beautiful, and these have bloomed. What bloom is, it's the palm kernel oil or whatever the fat is in the solidified coating that works its way to the surface and crystallizes on the surface. So this is perfectly good to eat. It just looks ugly because it has that solidified palm kernel oil on the surface. The heat in my hands will actually melt it, and that's how you know that it's bloom. Now, unfortunately, all confectionery coatings will eventually bloom, but this will take many months. And the recommended storage conditions of room temperature consistently with less than 50% relative humidity will delay that bloom, and so you may never see it on your wafers. But if you're also seeing bloom on molded pieces or dip pieces that you've just made, that may mean that you were not in the recommended usage temperature or the cooling conditions were not correct. But either way, if you completely melt these out and start over again with a complete melt to 115 to 120 Fahrenheit, and then follow your usage and cooling temperatures, you'll get perfectly good product. The bloom just melts back into the fat system and you're starting with a clean slate. So remember, with bloom, it's ugly, but it is perfectly safe to eat. Recommended storage conditions for confectionery wafers are 65 degrees Fahrenheit and less than 50% relative humidity. There is one other aspect that can damage the coating, and that is light. Light will fade confectionery coating over time, especially if you're cycling through daytime and nighttime. Keep the confectionery coating away from direct light. Keep it covered so that you don't see fading of the color. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out more videos in our Cargill Confectionery Series. I'm Coco Joe. Have a sweet day.